first things first. Nick and Nate Diaz, how are they doing, and have you had a chance to work with them lately?
Nick, I haven't seen him around. He's too busy running around. But Nathan, he comes by to the gym and he gets a little workout and he does jiu-jitsu. He's keeping busy.
Very good, very good. Both Nick and Nate have been away from MMA for quite some time now. I know the fans miss them dearly. But first with Nick, Dana White said over a month ago that he doesn't think that Nick will ever fight again. What's your take on that?
Dana White doesn't know, and nobody knows. Only Nick knows. You know, I know he wants to fight again, but right now, I guess he's just waiting for the right purse. You know, because they're tired of getting chump change. You know, they're top fighters. Everybody wants to see them. They're action fighters, and they're good. So why not pay them?
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, speaking of money, that's something we'll talk about in a little bit here in regards to Nate. But we all know that Nick was flagged by USADA over some really BS technicality, in my opinion. What do you make of his provisional suspension, and do you think they're just busting his balls at this point?
Yeah, they're just messing with him. You know, I don't know why, but maybe because he turned down some fights, that he wasn't getting enough money. You never know about Dana White, you know.
It's unfortunate. Very unfortunate. And it seems to be the thing, like you mentioned there, Nick and Nate, they both bring in a great crowd. Fans want to see them fight. Why not pay these guys what they're deserved?
Right. They should. They should get paid for what they deserve. Just like McGregor. You know, who's McGregor? I mean, he's a little guy, but yeah, he's got a big mouth. He ended up fighting Mayweather because he's got a big mouth. You know, it could happen to anybody, but yet, since he's supposed to be good in MMA, and Nathan, you know, laid him out on the ground, so now he wants to fight Mayweather because he has a big mouth. So here we're at. That's where we're at.
Yeah, it's a strange world we live in, that's for sure. Well, we certainly hope that the UFC comes to its senses and works something out with Nick. But moving on to Nate, one of the sport's biggest stars, but he's also become one of the smartest athletes in regards to negotiation, as we were talking about there with the money. He's wisely sitting out until the UFC makes him a good offer. Give us your thoughts on his decision to play hardball with the company.
Well, he's doing the right thing. He's the pitcher right now. You know, he's throwing the balls, curve, strike, wherever he wants right now, and they have to give him what he's asking for. I mean, you know, because he's already made with McGregor, so they need to keep it on top there because he's really, really popular. And people want to see number 3, which is McGregor and Nathan, and it should happen. I mean, I was hoping that he would go into boxing and box McGregor. I mean, that would be a good one because Nathan can really box. When he boxes and he's not hurt in the gym, he's awesome. That boy's bad.
Yeah, that's actually something I wanted to touch on here in a minute, but you know, Nate's made it pretty clear, as you mentioned, he wants the trilogy fight with McGregor, and there have been rumors circulating recently that fight might take place in December. I'm wondering, have you heard anything about this, and do you think it's a likely possibility in your opinion?
That's what I heard, but you know what? After this fight, Mayweather, I don't know what's going to happen. You know, he's going to make a lot of money, so he might kick back and just wait a while, and he might come back and do it. I know it's in his mind because after this, he knows he's got to do it. McGregor has to do this because there's only there's been 2, and everybody wants to see the 3rd. And in his mind, he feels like he has to do it, so it's going to be done. It's going to happen.
Well, yeah, that kind of transitions into my next question perfectly. I know the last time we spoke, we discussed how much of a crime it would be if this trilogy fight doesn't get booked. But, you know, looking back on it now, would you agree that Nate has known all along that this fight is inevitable?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's in the back of his head. Sure, he wants it to happen. And everybody else does. You know, I mean, there's no other way out. Right.
So, obviously, his decision to sit out and wait for this fight probably going to pay off in the long run. What do you think's taken the UFC so long to make this fight happen? Do you think they're worried about Conor losing to Nate again? Or has this just been maybe another situation of kind of treating the Diaz brothers badly?
Well, it could be both, and I think too because McGregor was opening his mouth, calling out Mayweather, and they were hoping that it was going to happen, and it did. Yeah. You know, because it's big money payday. Because he's calling out Mayweather, and he's supposed to be good at MMA, but he doesn't have no good defense. So I mean, just what he did, you know, and Dana White knows that he was going to end up fighting Mayweather. We're hoping it did happen. So here we are.
Right. Well, that's perfect. Let's change gears to that. I wanted to get your expert opinion on this fight, Mayweather-McGregor. First off, what was your reaction to the fight being booked, and do you think this is much of a freak show, as some people are saying?
Well, it could be a freak show, but the thing is, Mayweather doesn't have no really. I mean, McGregor really doesn't have any experience in boxing. I mean, he's okay. He just has no defense. He has no defense at all. He has a good left hand. He throws a little bit of combinations out there, but Mayweather's a professional fighter. He's 49-0, which speaks for itself, and McGregor's 0-0. You know, and that it's not right for him. I mean, if they would have gave Nathan, okay, I'd be right there and say, okay, do it. But Nathan can really box. When he goes to the gym and trains, I work him, and he boxes good. I mean, he broke the record throwing the most strikes in UFC. That says a lot.
Absolutely.
You know, so McGregor doesn't throw a lot to break a record like that. So he's going to be in trouble with Mayweather if he doesn't catch Mayweather with that left hand. They're using 8-ounce gloves, which is better for McGregor because he's got power in the left hand. But I don't know if he's going to put him away. I doubt it.
You see a lot of people talking about Conor really only having a puncher's chance. I'm wondering, do you think he has a legitimate chance in this fight at all, or even a puncher's chance for that matter?
No, he doesn't have a puncher's chance at all. And he gasses out. I don't care how hard he's training. They got to watch out for him because he's probably takes the substance that he did when he did with Nathan. You know, they woke him up. So I know they're taking tests right now, Ramley, but still, they got to keep you careful with that because he will do it. There's no way he's going to come in without taking any substance and be strong, you know, in boxing, because boxing is a lot of stamina.
Yeah. Well, can you elaborate on that? A substance that woke him up in the Diaz fight? You're saying?
Oh yeah, they said, they even said it afterwards. It was a while back. It was a while after the fight that they did find him taking some substance, but they didn't do anything to him.
Really? I think this went under the radar for a lot of us. What do you know? What the substance was, or was it an in between rounds thing, or before
no,
the
it was
fight?
after the fight. It was after the fight, way beyond after the fight. Probably a couple months later, they brought it up. You know, they brought it up about him. The last fight. It was the last fight that Nathan fought him. Because, you know, you think about a guy at 145 moving up to 170 the first time, he bulked up in muscle. That's not going to happen. You're going to have some fat in you because you're short. You're not going to be all muscle like that.
Yeah.
So, and I even told when Nathan first fought him, when they called me, I forgot who it was, I said, look, he's got to be on some kind of steroid, some kind of substance. And when Nathan asked him, he got defended. He got really upset about it. If it would have been me, I would have been laughing about it. Yeah, I'm on steroids. Yeah. But he was really mad. He was angry. So that speaks for itself right there. And Mayweather and them have to really have that guy checked.
Yeah, well, interesting point there you make. I remember him getting very defensive at an accusation of steroids. So usually the guilty act like that. But that's something, man, I'm going to have to look into this. That went right above my head. I was completely unaware that. So did he fail a drug test or?
After the fight, the last fight, I read it, and it said that he had some kind of, it's not steroid, but something that bulks you up. I forget what it's called.
Okay.
And it's illegal. It's still, you can't use it in the UFC. Even in boxing, you can't use it. So that's why I guess now they're both being tested every week. I don't know. I'm not sure how true that is. But
yeah. Wow. Oh, wow, man. I'm really gonna have to look into that one. That one went right over my head. Wow, what a shame, man.
You shouldn't have gotten angry. Even you, if I told you all you were on steroids, you'd laugh about it if you weren't. But if you are, you're going to get defensive.
Absolutely. That's the human nature's natural reaction. I mean, you say something that's ridiculous, it's laughable, but, man. Well, that's a damn shame if true, and there needs to be better. Like, this goes back to the situation with Nick. I mean, you got guys out there that have been cheating for years, guys out there that have played the USADA game, the drug testing game. Nick Diaz fails for smoking some reefer, and they chastise him. And now it's like Nick Diaz isn't even fighting. He's going out doing his own thing, and then they're trying to suspend him because he wasn't somewhere he was supposed to be. I mean, this is just ridiculous. They're playing favoritism, in my opinion.
Yeah, they are. And because the reason Dana White, I know Dana White don't like the Diaz brothers. He really doesn't, but he has to put up with them because people want to see him. So now that Nick's not fighting, he's going to try to make it as hard as he can on Nick right now to make it miserable for him. So he's going to have to fight if they keep fighting him. And it's ridiculous. It's nonsense. Get a guy that's out there taking cocaine or crank. Don't get me wrong, but look at John Jones. You know, I mean, he got busted for coke and whatever it was, and then he ends up hitting a lady that's pregnant, hit and run. I mean, and he's still fighting.
Yep. Well, I remember the cocaine one was one that really pissed me off. I mean, it didn't come out until after the fight that he had failed for cocaine, and while it's an out-of-competition situation, whatever the case is, fine, whatever. But then Nick is going to fail for cannabis, and then you're going to tell him he's suspended for 5 years. Absolutely insane.
Absolutely. I mean, weed doesn't even make you angry. I mean, you're like, I don't understand. And anyway, he doesn't do it right before the fight. He'll do it like 8 days before a fight. It's not like he's doing it the day of the fight. He doesn't do it.
Yeah.
He just does. I mean, he may have had a little hit or something, and it stays in your system, and that's what happens. But it's not. It doesn't make you violent.
Yeah, far from it. Far from it. So, man, what a shame.